Good evening and welcome to our evening reflection. As we prepare for next week's summer mission here at Dumfries Baptist Church, we look forward with excitement and perhaps just a little apprehension at the variety of activities that have been planned. We will be seeking to bring the gospel message to a wide range of people, from preschool groups through to senior citizens and all in between. As I was thinking about this, my thoughts turned to the challenges experienced by the prophet Haggai, who was called to speak to the children of Israel some 15 years after they'd returned from exile in Babylon. And following their return, the Israelites had become not too good. They'd gradually turned away from God, from serving God, and they turned to worshipping idols, particularly those of the countries around Israel at that time. And Haggai was called by God to try and bring the people back to serving him, to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem that had been destroyed by the Babylonians, and to once again live lives that recognized the God who had saved them and released them from exile. And Haggai not only gave them instructions and a challenge from God, but he also gave them 3 promises to encourage them to return to serving God. Firstly, he reminded them of the promise of God's presence as they sought to serve him. Chapter 1, verse 13 of the book of Haggai says, "I am with you, declares the Lord." And it's good to remember that we too have that promise, that when we seek to serve God, he will be with us. And Haggai goes on to say that not only does God promise to be with them, but the second promise is that he will give them the strength to carry out his work, and he will bless the work of the new temple when it is built. And the third promise is of God's ultimate victory, not only in the short term with the building of the temple, but in the long term with the coming of Jesus as Lord and Saviour, not only for Israel, but for all people throughout the world. And that promise of God's presence, God's power, and God's victory is as true for us today as it was in the time of the prophet Haggai. So as we prepare for the mission that starts on Sunday, we can look forward to God working through his people here in Dumfries, to those working with the preschool groups, to those working with the children and the youth, and to all of us involved in the various activities during Mission Week. Please remember Brian and Jenny from Mad Ministries, who will be coordinating the activities during this coming week. Please pray for all those who are involved in running the different activities, as well as all who will attend, particularly for people we do not normally see at church and who don't normally attend church activities. Pray that people will have the opportunity to hear and to respond to the gospel message, to learn more about God's love for each one of them. God's promises to Haggai and the people of Israel some 2,500 years ago are just as relevant for us today. We too can have his presence, his power, and his victory in all that we do. May it be a great mission week for everyone. Have a good evening.